He built the largest empire the world has ever seen. When he died, he was buried in total secret, and for 800 years, no one has ever found his grave. So, where is Genghis Khan's tomb? Why has it never been discovered? And what if it was never meant to be? He was the most powerful conqueror who ever lived. Yet today, no one on earth knows where his body lies. In the year 1227, Genghis Khan died. He passed away while on campaign, deep in his war against a rebellious kingdom. Exactly how he died is still argued over to this very day. Some say a fall from his horse, others a fever, or a wound taken in battle. But his final wish was crystal clear. His grave was to be kept an absolute secret. His body was carried home across the steppe by a loyal escort of soldiers. And according to legend, that escort killed almost everyone they met along the way. Anyone who saw the procession was silenced, so the route could never be traced. At the burial itself, the secrecy became almost unimaginable. The slaves and soldiers who dug the grave were said to be killed on the spot. Then the men who killed them were, in turn, killed as well. Layer upon layer of death, all to protect a single secret. To flatten the earth, 1,000 horses were driven back and forth across the site. Some stories say a river was even diverted to flow directly over the grave. Others claim a forest was planted until the land looked utterly untouched. Every trace of the most famous man alive was deliberately wiped away. And there was another reason to hide the grave so completely. Legend says the Khan was buried with a fortune gathered from across a whole continent. Gold, jewels, and plunder from 100 conquered cities, sealed away with him forever. But there is one place that history keeps pointing toward. It is a sacred peak in the mountains of Mongolia called Burkhan Khaldun. As a young man, Genghis hid on this mountain and swore to worship it forever. Most historians believe he was laid to rest somewhere on its slopes. For centuries, a vast area around it was sealed off as forbidden ground. It was called the Great Taboo, guarded by elite warriors sworn to keep everyone out. For 800 years, their descendants protected the secret with their lives. Of course, a secret this big has always attracted seekers. Treasure hunters and archaeologists have searched for the tomb for generations. Explorers have combed the mountains and valleys of Mongolia for any sign of it. Yet every serious expedition has ended in the very same way, with nothing at all. In the 1990s, a joint expedition dug across the sacred region. But Mongolians were horrified at the idea of disturbing their ancestor, and it was shut down. One American spent years and a fortune searching, and found only crumbling walls. The search has centered on the sacred mountain and the rivers where he was born. But the terrain is enormous, remote, and utterly unforgiving. In recent years, scientists even turned to satellites orbiting high above the Earth. Thousands of volunteers scanned the images, hunting for any hidden structure. They found intriguing shapes in the ground, but never the tomb itself. And here is the strangest part of the whole story. Many Mongolians do not want the tomb to be found at all. To them, Genghis Khan is a sacred ancestor, and his rest must never be disturbed. There is even an old fear that opening his grave would unleash a terrible curse. And it is a fear with a genuinely chilling echo in history. The tomb of another great conqueror carried a warning. Whoever disturbs him unleashes war. When scientists opened it, a devastating invasion is said to have begun just 2 days later. So what really became of Genghis Khan? The honest answer is that he is almost certainly still out there on his sacred mountain. That whole region is now a protected World Heritage Site, watched and preserved. We know when he died and roughly where he was buried. But the exact spot may be a secret the land itself will simply never give up. Perhaps the greatest secret of all is that Mongolia would rather it stayed lost. The man who wanted the whole world may have wanted, in the end, only to disappear. Genghis Khan conquered more of the world than any man in history. And yet the one thing he truly kept for himself was the place where he would rest. Some mysteries, it seems, are meant to stay buried forever.